All right, so we're picking up here with goal 3. So goal 3 is the cross product property, and you've definitely seen this before. So cross product property is dealing with proportions, and what proportions are equal ratios. So make a little note of that. Proportions are equal ratios. Okay? They'll look a little something like if we had A over B equals C over D. Now, what cross product property is telling us is we're going to use something called cross multiplication to solve for any unknown measures. So, for instance, we would do a cross like this. We do A times D is equal to, then we go across the other way. C times, or B times C. Ta-da! That is cross product. So we're going to do 4 little examples of using cross product. Again, these are 4 examples that will be on your homework. These will be multiple choice, okay? Starting with this first one, we're going to go across like this. That would give us 9 times x equals, then we're going to go across like this. We have 3 times 8. Please use your calculator. If you not necessarily struggle, but you move too quickly when you're doing these and you do simple math problems, like simple mistakes. So we would have 9x equals, and then we have 3 times 8, which is 24. Now we're going to divide by 9, and we get that x equals 2.7. Ta-da! These will be multiple choice, okay? These will be multiple choice. All right, so that one was a real simple one. Those were the easy ones. You'll have 3 problems that are easy like that. Okay, the next one we have algebraic expressions involved. So let's talk about what we're going to do when we have those. So first we're going to multiply across like this. So I like to take the single one and put it on the outside, times n minus 10. Anytime you're dealing with expressions, please put them in parentheses. All right, then we have to go across like this. We have 3 times 10. All right, let's simplify. Now, how we simplify these is we're going to use distributive property. Distributive property means whatever's outside our parentheses is going to multiply everything inside the parentheses. So we have 6 times n, which gives us 6n. Then we have 6 times negative 10, which gives us negative 60, equals, and then we have 3 times 10, which is 30. Now let's just solve this 2-step equation. We're going to add 60 first. So we have 6n equals 90. Then we're going to divide by 6. And we get n equals 90 divided by 6, 15. No decimal. Isn't that nice? All right, so that was just an added complication with one expression. So you will have 3 questions like those on your homework. All right, next one. This one is whenever we have variables on both sides. So let's go ahead and do this one as well. So we're going to multiply 7x times 5 equals 2 times x plus 1. Remember, if it is an expression, to put it inside parentheses. So we have 7x times 5, which is 35x, equals, we're using distributive property here. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times positive 1 is positive 2. All right. We need to get our like terms together. So that means that 2x needs to go over to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 2x to move it, leaving me with 33x equals 2. Ooh. This one's definitely a decimal. All right, divided by 33. Two divided by 33 gives us 0.06. Okay, you'll have 3 questions like that on your homework. This is all algebra. We have yet to apply this to geometry. We're just doing algebra right now. All right, now let's talk about what we're going to do if we have 2 algebraic expressions involved. Again, we're still going to use cross product or cross multiplication. So we would have 9 times x plus 9 equals 8 times x minus 8. All right, so we have two sets of distributive property that are going to be happening here. First, we're going to deal with our 9. So we have 9 times x, which is 9x, plus 9 times 9, which is 81, equals, then we're going to distribute our 8. 8 times x, which is 8x, and then 8 times negative 8, which is negative 64. All right, now, let's do our variables and constants here, since we have them on both sides. So I'm going to put all my variables over here, all my constants over here. So 9x is already over here. I want to move 8x to the other side, so I'm going to turn it opposite. I got negative 64 already over here. I'm going to move 81, so I'm going to turn it opposite. So 9x minus 8x is just x equals, and then please use a calculator if you struggle with your negatives. Negative 64 minus 81 gives us negative 145. You will have 3 questions like this on your homework, okay? Again, all of these are multiple choice, okay? All right, moving on to goal number 4, geometric mean. So now this is talking about what's going to happen when you're dealing with proportions and geometry. They tell you there's this special property that happens in geometric figures called the geometric mean. And it's talking about whenever you have, let's say, A over B equals C over A, something like that. All right? If you notice, you have two of the same things. They're talking about this happening in geometry, and it happens a lot. So instead of having to use cross product, they're like, okay, you have two sides, right? You have two lengths that you're given. Your geometric mean, guys. Geometric mean is always going to be x, which is your unknown, is equal to, and let's say you have side lengths b and c, right? The square root of b times c. So you're literally going to take your two numbers you're given, multiply them, and take the square root. Again, if you have trouble knowing what a square root is, because I've talked about this, I do believe with you guys, you want, yes, because distance formula. If you look on your calculator, you're looking for this button. Let me see if I can zoom in so you can see it. This one right there. See the itty bitty little square root sign? On your phone, you'll be turning your phone sideways most likely and looking for the one that has like a 2 outside of the square root, and that is your actual square root button, okay? All right, so let's do an example. Let's find the geometric mean of 2 and 18. So this means we're going to say, okay, x is equal to the square root in our two sides, 2 times 18. All right, so x is equal to the square root, and then 2 times 18 equals 36. Well, luckily 36 is a perfect square. If it wasn't a perfect square, you would round. So the square root of 36 is 6. So this would be your answer that you type in. You do not type in x equals 6. You just type in 6. These are not multiple choice. Got it? All right. Now, our last goal for today, properties of proportions. So we already know that a regular proportion is whenever A over B equals C over D. So now we're going to talk about ways that we can manipulate that to where it is still true. These are technically not the mathematical names for these. This is just what I call them to remember them by. Because the only one that really has a math name is this one. These two do not, like a legitimate given to them geometric term. So I go ahead and I created my own to help you understand it. So the reciprocal property means that the flip is going to be the same. So what we're saying is if A over B equals C over D, then if we flip both of them, they'll still be equal. If we say B over A equals D over C. Okay? Next, the interchanging. This means we're going to switch B and C. So, if A over B equals C over D, then A over C equals B over D. You can also think of it as like the diagonal flip, if you like, if that helps you, because those are the ones that are switching. They're changing positions. They still end up being true. They still end up equaling. And this is the one that a lot of students struggle with just because it's so weird. I call it the addition of denominator property. This is when we're going to add the bottom to the top. Okay? So, if A over B equals C over D, then, okay, so we're going to take whatever's on the bottom, duplicate it, and add it to the top. So it's going to look something like this. We would say A plus B over B is equal to C plus D over D. All right? And if you're thinking to yourself, when am I ever going to use this in the real world? Whenever you have to pass this test. Okay? All right, so now let's practice being able to use those different properties. All right, so for example 6, we're going to start with some reasoning. This is like completing the sentence, okay? So this one, again, will not be multiple choice. So we need to see what is happening, and we need to figure out what would be our end result. So if 8 over x is equal to 3 over y, then 8 over 3 is equal to what over what? Well, what I notice is that my 3 went down here. So I'm going to look back. Which one of these has my C property, which is what 3 is, moving to the bottom? Well, that would be this one here. So our answer is going to be B over D. So let's see, what is our B? It is x over y. That's what our final answer would be. Do not use any spacing when you type that in, okay? So you'll do problems like that. There are 4 of them. All right, so this next one, these are true or false, okay? True or false? They want to know if the following statement is creating and is using one of our actual properties that we have, one of the 3 properties we're working with. All right, so it is saying if 8 over m equals n over 9, then 8 plus m over m is equal to m plus 9 over 9. So instantly I see some addition happening. So that means I'm going to think, okay, I need it to match my addition denominator property. So is our bottom duplicating and going to the top? Okay, it is on our first one. Is the bottom duplicating and going to the top? It is on the second one, so it is true. Okay, you're just checking it against the property it matches with. All right, and our last example for today, and luckily, yes, we were able to fit this in 2 parts. These are the ones where we're applying some geometry. So what this is telling us is we're going to be given one of our properties, our proportional properties, and they want us to use it to solve for a missing side. So they're telling us C over B, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in my information. C over B is 6 over B over A, which we don't know, is equal to D over DE, we know that, over EF. And then how do we solve for BA? Well, we're going to use our cross product property that we've learned, that property. So we're going to say 6 times 7 is equal to 4 times BA. All right, so we're going to say, okay, 6 times 7 is 42 equals 4 times BA. And then how do we get BA by itself? Well, we divide by 4. Divide by 4. And we get that BA is equal to 10.5. Now when you do this one, this is all you type in on your answer, 10.5. Alrighty, if there's any questions, let me know. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.